Jaylin Noel to me was the better receiver than Jaden Higgins. And as a captain there at Iowa State, which can't go unsaid, the smaller guy looked a lot bigger in situations than Jaden Higgins, in my opinion. Watching the film, I just absolutely fell in love with this game. The way he can stretch a field, the way he goes up and snatches the ball, his route running, everything is just a total package for me. I'm not a measurables guy, but if you want to know, he's 5'11", 200 pounds. But here's why I think he's going to be an impact guy. He's going to be a direct replacement for Tank Dell. And so you're looking at Tank Dell, who's 5'10", 165. Yeah, the measurables are a little off, but he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be able to stretch the field regardless of where he lines up. Now, Tank Dell did most of his stuff. 70% of his plays played to the outside in the Z, next to, on the opposite side of 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝘀. Like, everybody gets that. But one thing that they haven't had consistently is a slot guy outside of Xavier Hutchinson that'll line up there, but a true slot receiver that can stretch the field and doesn't have to be on the outside, but then can also flip-flop with Jaden Higgins, because Jaden Higgins did that a little bit too. But if you're looking at the slot rates of Jaylin Noel and also putting up 1,000 yards, 73% 3 years ago, 81% a year ago, and 67% this past year. So it's actually decreased how much time that he was actually in the slot, and he played a lot more outside. And one thing to closely understand is, like, from what I was reading, is that they like to line up Jaylin a lot for the defense on the outside. So he practiced more on the outside than he did at slot at Iowa State, which I thought was very, very interesting. And again, the best thing for their team is to have a reliable target, a guy with reliable hands that's able to stretch the field. And it's very reminiscent of what a Tank Dell could do or can do for the Houston Texans. And now you have Jaylin Noel there that's going to be able to do the same. Looking at some of his numbers, 820 yards, 2023, 7 touchdowns. His longest reception was 82 yards. 2024, 1,194 yards on 80 catches, 14.9 yards a catch, 8 touchdowns, 75 yards was his longest. Big play potential, not as many targets as his other guy on the other side of the field was Jaden Higgins. So to me, you're looking at this, I think he's immediately going to be an impact for the Texans, unlike Jaden Higgins for sure. Very surprising, huh?
I mean, again, it was very much a yes, but also I was kind of like, you know what? Knowing Dante, I was like, that was homie's dude. So, like, I can understand it. And again, Tank Dell's out for this season. That is confirmed. Who knows what it looks like at the end of next?
That's what I'm saying.
But like, who knows what it's going to look like in the future? Dude may never play football again.
One more injury to Tank Dell, and I would be completely pressed to say that he probably
to be like, you got to medically retire, bro.
Yeah, I mean, unless he tries to bake on weight. And if Jaylin Noel goes crazy this year, that's why I said he's a direct replacement, because you have a security blanket there in case Tank Dell doesn't come back. You need somebody to come in and do what he did right now, because that's the identity that CJ Stroud is used to. Is somebody that's his size is able to stretch the field and almost do the same things that he can do. Jump up there and grab a pass and not care if he's going to get sandwiched or not. And still, I mean, a reliable catcher. That's what Jaylin Noel is.